am right here in downtown Toccoa. I'm walking to the local outdoors store, Currahee Outdoors. Today is Sunday the 14th, and it is their monthly community hike. Today we're going to be hiking Currahee Mountain, which if you ever saw Band of Brothers, that's the mountain in that movie, or miniseries. It's a real place, real story. That's really where they trained. So I'm walking down our beautiful main street. And here we are. Right here. Currahee Outdoor, 56 Doyle Street, Toccoa, Georgia. No, I'm not an employee. I'm just a way too loyal customer. Just ask my bank account. So once a month, the fabulous folks at the local outdoor shop, Currahee Outdoors, host a community hike, which is basically where they lead a hike for anyone in the community who wants to show up for it. This week, we were going to hike Currahee Mountain, which is the mountain from Band of Brothers. If you've ever seen that miniseries, that's where they trained at in World War II. So we first all meet at their shop, which, as you can see, has a whole lot of everything you could need. They are avid backpackers and hikers, so they know their stuff. So we all meet at the shop, and then we drive to wherever we're hiking that week. And this is Currahee Mountain. And if you have seen Band of Brothers, you know it is 3 miles up, 3 miles down. Only we had the added benefit of just having to walk up it and not run up it with a million pounds of gear. But as you can see, it is basically just a gravel road. It is not the most scenic hike ever, but it is just filled with history. The city of Toccoa has a lot of military history, and we're very, very proud of it. In fact, once a year in October, we have Currahee Military Weekend, which is a whole weekend dedicated to celebrating our military history. Last year was my first year being here, and my most favorite part, aside from the parade and everything, was on the Saturday night of that weekend. They shut down Main Street, and they had a USO style, 1940s style swing band, and we all just danced in the streets. It was great. So anyway, here we are hiking up Currahee Mountain, and see that sun? There's very little shade, very, very little shade. There are shady spots, but not a lot. So if you're gonna hike up Currahee Mountain, which I absolutely recommend you do, just for the history of it and the experience of it, if nothing else, plus the workout. But if you're going to hike up Currahee Mountain in the summer, I would strongly recommend doing so early in the morning, or maybe at dusk, and have a whole bunch of water. Because I've hiked up this thing in the summer before, and it can be brutal. Brutal, 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 because there's not a lot hiding the sun. So here's one of the shady spots. But it really is a neat little hike, and in the fall, you can see more views than you can in spring or summer. You can also drive all the way up there, which is probably what sane and normal people do, but I'm neither of those things, so I hiked it. But yeah, off to the side, at one point, you can even see Tray Mountain on the Appalachian Trail. Just a bunch of mountains off in the distance, which, if it was, like I said, if it was summer, you really couldn't see it so much. And we were very fortunate today. It was about 50 degrees, so it wasn't terribly cold. There was a pretty strong wind, though. That made it a whole lot colder when we stopped. But it was really just right. Really just right for hiking. And there was a pretty large group of us that went, but the reason you don't see the large group in most of this is because I am literally the world's slowest hiker. That's why I don't hike with groups, and I don't hike with other people one-on-one, almost never, because I am so slow. I don't want to hold anybody back. I mean, I'm talking snail pace slow. So for that reason, partially for that reason, I generally prefer to hike alone. The other part of that is I'm an introvert and I like the peace and quiet. But yeah, so if I ever hike with somebody or a group, they have to be the world's most patient people who do not care that I'm stopping every 10 or 20 steps to catch my breath going uphill. And here we are getting closer to the top. There was also a lot of mountain bikes going up and down. I don't think I caught any of them on film. See, there's a bit of the view right there. Yep, a little bit of the view. But a lot of people use this trail. People drive up, people ride their bikes up, and people hike up. And here we are at almost at the summit. This is where we stopped. The summit is just a few more feet up, not much at all. Graffiti is bad, don't do it. But this is, as you can tell, a very popular graffiti spot, which is not cool, people. But here's the view. Where those radio towers are up top, that's the very top. So the view right here and what's up top is basically the same. There were some hawks flying around. It was really, really pretty. And we all stopped here, or at least the three of us who were at the tail end of everything. We stopped here and had snacks and just kind of recuperated a little bit. I had brought some dehydrated bananas that I made. I have a dehydrator, and I'm working on getting together a bunch of backpacking snacks and meals. So I had that, and we just kind of sat here and chilled out. Took some pictures. And then we headed back down. It was a great hike, and I had a blast. Have a great day. Till next time.